So you've done some really good things doing redevelopment. But think of Aerotropolis as a stackable incentive to really create a robust package if you want to do some great brownfield or some larger redevelopment. So let's go on to the next slide. This is slide number 7. So one of the main goals was to find large acre sites 25 acres and above in Aerotropolis. And so of the large industrial buildings I'm actively marketing, of the 12, 6 are located in Taylor. And of the 21 sites under 50 acres, 5 are located in Taylor, and the mega sites, the sites that are 100 acres, 1 of the 6 are located in Taylor. And so what I do is I benchmark ourselves against Chicago, Air, Indianapolis, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Toronto. I look at those airport communities and I say, what are they doing with their land? Their large acre greenfield sites, how are they developing? And what we're finding is that next generation mobility is becoming more a part of the movement of goods and logistics. And so if you go to the next slide, Aerotropolis recently won a $95 million investment from Kroger. If you saw the headlines, Kroger and Ocado, which is a UK technology firm, will be located in Romulus, just 6 miles down the road. This is a $95 million advanced robotic fulfillment center. And so when you think about fulfillment, logistics, supply chain, that $95 million in advanced robotic brings mechanical engineers, software engineers, and new degrees and skill sets to an industry that many people, they don't think has that skill set. And so when you think about the targeted industries, I want you to think forward-looking and how those industries are changing and how we're looking to attract those industries to Aerotropolis. So moving forward, I want to skip forward to slide number 13, because I think this showcases the vision of George Sutherland and the mayor. About 8 months ago, we were approached by a startup company in Detroit called Airspace Link. Airspace Link is an FAA-approved software as a service, and what they do is they build highways in the sky. And so when you think about advanced mobility, Taylor being a built-out community, where can we take mobility? We can take it into the air, so urban air mobility. And so what we've done in the city of Taylor is we've taken your GIS data, your geographic information data, where your hospitals, your schools, where all of those roads are, and we've uploaded it into the Airspace Link software platform. And so now we have authoritative data from the city of Taylor, we have authoritative data from the FAA, and now we can fly drones from 40 to 400 feet through these highways in the sky. And so on the next slide, slide 14, the first use case will be with police and fire. And so if there's an incident in Taylor, police and fire can send a drone through a highway in the sky and begin recording what's happening at that incident. And that can take 1 to 3 minutes for the drone to arrive, where a police vehicle or a fire vehicle may take 15 to 20 minutes, depending on traffic. And so you're seeing the first use case of this highway in the sky here in Taylor being built. And we're leading the nation. There's only 2 other, Ontario, California, and the state of North Dakota are at par with us in building these highways in the sky and using them for public safety. So I just want to show you some of the unique things Aerotropolis is doing with its new capabilities and the funding that has been supported by the TIFA board. And then on the next slide, you have probably heard about the autonomous vehicle lane that's going to connect Detroit and Ann Arbor. And so a company called Cavenue is funded by Alphabet, Google's parent, and also the Ontario Teachers Pension Fund. And what they're doing is they're taking potentially 2 lanes on Michigan Avenue and 2 lanes on I-94, and they're making autonomous vehicle lanes. And so when you're driving your Tesla or pretty soon your Ford, you'll be able to go fully autonomous in these autonomous vehicle lanes. And I-94 runs right through Taylor, and so when you think about the economic development impact to your community, repositioning properties adjacent to 94 to be serviced by autonomous vehicles, electronic charging stations, and what the future will hold with the movement of both high-value cargo and passengers on this autonomous vehicle lane. So 2 things that we're leading with George Sutherland. His leadership, he brought us Airspace Link, the highways in the sky, and then he's also working directly with me on making sure we capitalize on the autonomous vehicle lanes that would be built between Detroit and Ann Arbor. So with that, my contact information, and on the very last slide, what you have here is, I use Salesforce as my customer relationship management tool. What you're seeing is the leads I get for either large acre sites or for vacant buildings, where that lead came from, and how many Taylor properties and or buildings I submitted to that request. Happy to share that Salesforce data with you at any time if you wanted in more detail. Any questions? I ran through that pretty quickly.
Does anybody have any questions? I just,
Maybe keep stating
Sure.
just a couple points I think it's important for the board, council, sorry. The next Michigan stacks on incentives is what he was talking about. Like you get, by being a next Michigan, you get another added incentive. And I know what it sounds like, it's like school capture, but you get reimbursed through the state from that. So it doesn't affect our city or anything like that. But to give you an example, I asked what was the school capture that was reimbursed from the state of Michigan to Amazon, and it was $6 million. So that's a pretty big incentive to help rural companies into City of Taylor, because we're offered that too.
okay. Is there any questions?
Mr. Chair, I have one question. Sure. On slide number 11, marketing Taylor sites, so all those sites that are on there are owned by the city, or do you go out and look at other sites owned by other companies or people and kind of try to go through that?
Yeah, bit of both. So there's a 70-acre parcel owned by the city that we're actively marketing, but there's also sites that are owned by private individuals that we market on their behalf to put them in productive use. So a bit of both.
I just, in my opinion, I've been sitting up here for 7 years, and we've spent between $175,000 and $225,000 on our membership. In that 7 years, we've never received anything. We have our own economic development department. I think they do a pretty good job, and I just don't see the point. And I think, and this is no discredit to you, or I think you're probably the 5th or 6th director in my 7 years being here. So there seems to be a lot of changeover, and then this is just a receive and file. But I commend you, and I hope you do well. And it's already been passed by Tifa, and hopefully we can work a good deal out in the future, bringing somebody here.
Yeah, and if you'd ever like to sit down, I'm open to stop by your office just to talk about the vision of Aerotropolis is changing, as you see with the autonomous vehicle lane and building highways in the sky. And so we want to be innovative and inventive. We know that Taylor is built out primarily, and so the redevelopment opportunities are going to come from innovation, from startup activity, and from redevelopment. And so that's why we're pivoting in that direction for you all.
I hope that's the case, but I've been told that many times, that each time there's a different direction. But is there any other questions? Okay, if not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no.
No.
Roll call.
Mr. Remick?
No.
Mrs. Winton?
Yes.
Ms. Cross?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Becerra?
Yes.
Mrs. Pat?
No.
Mr. Woolley?
No. Motion carries. Item 6.19 is a motion to receive and file the TIFA approval of Michigan Municipal League membership annual dues for the fiscal year 2021 for an amount of $14,242.
Motion. Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Pat, supported by Councilwoman Winton. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Excuse me. Motion to 6.20 is a motion to receive and file TIFA approval of Global Building Maintenance low bid for the restroom renovation on hole number 5 at Taylor Meadows for an amount of $81,500 plus a 10% contingency for an amount not to exceed $89,650.
Motion to receive and file. Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Cross, supported by Councilman Becerra. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair, at first when I read this, I thought that's a lot of money for a bathroom, but it's not just a bathroom, it's a concession stand too, correct?
Yes, it has an opening, but we're making it for a weather station. But we are making it in a way that it doesn't have to be maintenance again. It's in horrible shape. It's an embarrassment to the city. We actually have a porta-john out there right now, but we put a metal roof on it, metal siding on it, and then we thought we'd use it as a weather station, which means you just have you know, you're protected from the rain if you caught in the rain there in restrooms. It's not code to be able to serve food out of there. We usually put that on the patio out front.
So it'll be bathrooms with an extension off that where
Yes,
people
sir.
can pull in carts in rain
Yes,
situations?
sir.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. 6.21 is a motion to receive and file the TIPA approval of Warner Contractors and Development, low bid for construction of the Eureka Way Gateway Signs Project for amount of $1,110,000 plus a 10% contingency for contingency of $111,000 for a total amount of $1,221,000.
Motion to receive and file.
Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Cross, supported by Councilwoman Winton. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair, this is just signage? It doesn't have anything to do with the sidewalks and everything, correct?
Through the chair. Yes, I guess I want to take a little, yes, it's the entrance coming into the Eureka
The ones that
Way.
look blue?
Yeah, and we took the elements, we had a designer come out, and they took the elements of the Blue Bridge, which we know we use in our marketing, as it kind of people that drive through there know they're driving through Taylor. So we took those elements there. But you're absolutely right to the fact that, you know, with the mall, with all what happened with the mall, if I take a little walk down memory lane since I've been here, you had the mall that's been tens of millions of dollars, putting the theater up and all that. And then you had Menards coming in. We did a traffic study. We didn't want Eureka to be another Ford Road, right? But we found out that you had goat paths there. We dumped people off. We had the drain that goes right by Telegraph. That's a